Alright everybody, today I'm gonna show you guys how you can make those trappy guitar beats all from scratch in FL Studio. So let's not waste any more time, let's just jump right in. Alright, so we are now here in FL Studio 21 as you guys can see, and the first thing we want to do is just adjust the BPM. So since we are going for more of a trappy type of sound, I like turning down the BPM to something like 120. So we're going to go for 120 in this case as well, and then we need to open up a guitar VST. Now a lot of you guys are complaining that I'm not using VSTs you guys have, so today I'm going to be using this TC guitar from Contact. It's the Ilya FMOF electric guitar. I know a lot of you guys have already been commenting about this guitar, why I'm not using it. So like I said, today I'm going to be using this guitar. Most of you guys have this one, so you can pretty much just follow along with the same exact VST as well. So now that we have the BPM and the guitar, it's time that we open up the piano roll, and we should also pick a scale. Now in this case, I think I'm actually going to go for something like A minor, maybe B minor. It doesn't really matter, we're probably going to change the key anyway, but let's just start off with A minor in this one. So from here, I'm actually going to zoom a little bit in on the piano roll, and we're working in the A minor scale, so I personally just like starting off with a simple A minor triad like this. And we're pretty much just going to build our chord progression from here. Alright, so when it comes to making this trappy type of sound, it's actually very simple, but it might seem a little bit complicated. So I'm just going to try to explain it in the best way possible. The thing you actually want to do is just make a very catchy one bar pattern. So as I have highlighted this part right here, we're just going to try to make something that's super catchy and super trappy inside of this section right here. And what we're going to do from there is just going to copy the whole thing over, but we don't want to have it repeat over and over again. So we're just going to have it copied over, but we're going to do a little bit of a few adjustments, maybe switching down the bass notes and also just adding some filler notes here and there. So it's not going to be the same exact pattern. That's why it kind of seems a little bit complicated, but the actual way to do it is going to be very simple. So we're just going to start off, like I said, with this triad chord and strum these notes out a little bit so we can have some more movement. And from here, we're literally just adding a few notes, trying to create something that's super catchy. The way you kind of do this is just by keeping stuff very simple, and you also want to slice up some of the notes that you're already using, as this is going to help create that movement. So what I'm going to do is start off with this right here, and I'm also going to copy the A4, but I'm going to pitch it up and move it a little bit to the side as well. Then I'm going to try to slice this up, and we can maybe have a note right here. And I'm also going to add maybe something a little bit on top, which we can hold Alt and move slightly off grid so they don't hit at the same exact time. Alright, so I think we can have something like this. As you guys can see, it's very short and it's very simple. It's just a lot of different notes strummed out, so it kind of sounds good. But the trick to really make this smooth and sound a little bit more catchier is, like I said, to copy it over. So we're gonna copy it over for this part, but then I'm just gonna adjust this bass note. So let's just pitch this down maybe like 4 semitones, cut it up and pitch this up by 2 semitones. And from here you can see we have some notes that are kind of clashing. So let's just move this a little bit off grid again, and we can add some more filler notes, maybe adjust a little bit of the pitch on some of these as well. And also make sure to extend the notes out at least a little bit of them, because it's going to make it sound a bit smoother. So now that we kind of have this 2-bar section right here, we can again just copy that over and just extend the notes so we have a smooth sound for the whole guitar pattern. Now I don't really like how the Ilya FMOF guitar sounds very dry without any effects, so I'm quickly just going to add a little bit of reverb and maybe some RC20 just so we can enhance the sound a little bit. Right, so our guitar pattern already sounds way better. This is just with 2 effects. We're going to add some more later on, but let's firstly finish off this pattern. So the way we're going to build off of this right now is actually to add some more top notes and also add a little bit of a few layers. So we're just going to go in and try to use a little bit of the higher frequencies up here. We're going to stack some notes. The key is really to just offset these a little bit throughout the whole pattern, but just add a little bit of top notes over here and over there, and just experiment with what really sounds good. I'm actually also going to go in and adjust the key a little bit. So we were in A, let's try to turn it down to maybe F or E. Yes, I'm kind of just adding these top notes right here. They're pretty much just layers. These top notes are also very low in velocity, as you guys can see. Right, so here we have the full pattern with the top notes as well. Really just adds that movement and smooth transitions. Right, so now that we have that guitar pattern laid down, we did add this roam as well as the RC20. Since we are using an electric guitar, you can really go crazy with the effects as well. You can add a little bit of a rig or some amplifiers, some guitar rig 6 or something like that. This is just going to help really emphasize the whole guitar sound. So what I actually like doing is opening up CLA guitars. And from here you can really open up the different presets, maybe in the electric guitar section or even the acoustic section has a lot of cool and smooth sounding stuff. So I just went into the electric section and added this ringer preset. It just really adds that clean and cool sound to the guitar. It doesn't overpower it, but it's still smooth. With this we're also going to add a little bit of a low cut EQ. Now when you have a lot of movement on the guitar like we did with lots of different notes, I actually sometimes like to add a little bit of delay just so it can kind of create a cool little sound out of those notes. So in this case, so I think the last effect I'm going to add is just going to be an effect track, and I'm pretty much just going to drag in a echo boy, and you can pretty much just use the standard preset or just look through a couple of the different presets you have right here. Just make sure to not overdo it because we don't want to overpower everything with the delay. We're just going to keep it very simple. So I'm just gonna go for the second preset right here. Maybe just turn the wet a little bit down, and that's pretty much it. Now let's go in and add this bass right here on the root notes, just so we can fill out that low end. Just go in and literally just put it down on the root notes of our main guitar pattern. You don't want to overcomplicate this, as it's pretty much just down there to fill the low end of the whole sample. So just very simple on the root notes right here, pretty much just one standard note. Like I said, it's just to fill out the low end. I'm gonna go into my Mirage multi-kit and I'm gonna add a quick little texture we can have underneath. So I just added this Birds by the Sea texture. Just gives us a little bit of some background noise. Next thing I'm gonna do is open up the Unclean Machine bank in Omnisphere, and from here we're just gonna go over to the pad section and just add a little bit of a layer we can have in the background of our main guitar. Right, so what the pad I went for was this Hazy Days pad, and what you actually want to do with this one is just very simply put it down on the kind of the chord progression that we are going for with the guitar. So these are kind of the same notes. It's just a triad, as you guys can see, with the inverted middle note. And then for the effects, you kind of just want to make it a little bit ambient and add some atmosphere to it. So I just have this magnitude transition 1 preset in RC20. It really just adds a lot of different space, as you guys can see. Then I'm also actually adding this portal. This is the Blaze preset from my Mirage portal bank. It just adds this cool little texture, so it kind of differentiates the sound a little bit from the rest of our elements. So you can hear we kind of get a little bit of a unique sound, but we still keep that pad type of vibe out of it. It just adds to the whole atmosphere and ambience in general. One thing we can also do is just open up an imager and just widen this pad sound out. So now that we have it super spread out, it's not really going to clash with the mix. I'm also going to go into Hooked using the Bright Side preset just to add a little bit of a vocal we can also kind of tuck a little bit in the background. That's perfect. This right here, maybe a little bit of a switch up at the end. We'll see. Right, so to finish off the sample, I just added a few little counter melodies and accents. And now that we have the whole thing finished, it's time we add some drums. As for all the drum sounds I'm using, they are of course coming from the Motion Bundle kit. So if you guys like any of the drum sounds you hear in this video and you want to have 4 more kits included with the drum kit, you can go check out the kit. It is on my website, which is BBMarko.com, or you guys can just click the first link down below. Alright, so let's start off with this simple clap right here. Nice and snappy clap. A little bit of a spaced out hi-hat pattern. Kind of adds to that trappy type of sound. thing when you're going for these spaced out hi-hat patterns is that you can add a lot of rims and perks. It kind of fits the bounce. I'm gonna add this reverse open hat too. This hits right when the clap goes in. It's perfect. Yeah, that's nice. Just a super simple kick pattern. When we add the 808 as well, it's gonna go crazy. Right now I have the whole beat finished. I'm quickly just gonna arrange the whole thing and I'll show you guys the final beat. Right, so here we have the full beat. A little bit of a cool arrangement with different parts as well. Bass comes in right here in the intro.
Shut up, Marko.
And it drops in. Hard 808. Then we have the different part of the counter melody. Perks as well. Second part of the hook. Slow things a bit down right here. Bass comes in together with the kick. And it drops back in. With that 808, it's insane. And then we have a bridge right here, pretty much the same as the intro. Eight bars just slowly builds up to the hook again.